Is the Biltmore Estate haunted? North Carolina's most prominent and beloved attraction, located in Asheville, receives more than 1 million visitors every year. This family-owned estate inspires people as the tour allows an escape from everyday life. Since 1895, the family has welcomed guests to its 8,000 sprawling acres with breathtaking views of the mountains and the distinguished house and gardens. Let's take a look at some of the paranormal activity reported in the first-hand accounts of visitors to our beloved Biltmore, one of the most haunted places in the country. Let's dive into the Biltmore Estate's dark history. The Biltmore was constructed from 1889 to 1895 by William Henry Vanderbilt II. In his early 20s, Vanderbilt accompanied his mother to Asheville on a visit. He fell in love with the area, of course, and decided to build a modest summer home. John Singer Sargent, public domain, via Wikimedia Commons. His modest little summer home would reportedly use up much of his Vanderbilt inheritance. He ended up getting married, having a daughter, and living at Biltmore until his death in 1914. Advertisement. The Biltmore has 178,926 square feet of floor space. That's the equivalent of 4 acres inside the main house alone. The staircase is a common place for spotting ghosts and experiencing the Biltmore Estate haunted history. Many paranormal enthusiasts believe staircases are spiritual vortexes attracting ascending and descending spirits. At the Biltmore, visitor accounts of odd occurrences on the stairs soar in first-hand accounts detailed in online reports and comments. It doesn't help matters that many of the 250 rooms found at the Biltmore have headless mannequins dressed in period clothing. We're sure it only serves to confuse the unconscious mind that sees something that really isn't there. Many people have reported seeing George Vanderbilt II in his library. Apparently, one of Vanderbilt's favorite rooms in the estate was his library. He could be found here admiring and reading books found in his vast collection. He's often seen browsing the books along the shelves or sitting quietly and reading. The servants' quarters, kitchen, gym, and pool are located in the basement. Some visitors have reported seeing the staff busy preparing a meal in the kitchen. The indoor swimming pool, located in the basement, was a popular spot for visitors to Biltmore in Vanderbilt's day. Today, however, it's not popular at all. Soaring numbers of first-hand accounts say they had an overwhelming feeling of uneasiness when touring the pool area, the site of the supposed Biltmore Estate pool drowning. Some go on to say they clearly felt pure terror in the presence of someone who may have drowned during one of the parties the Vanderbilts were known to throw. Some accounts tell of the smell of a fresh cigar burning, with the pungent smoke billowing off the end. But the Biltmore is a smoke-free environment. Others report the sense of being followed or watched. Clearly, this is something that a servant would do in an attempt to be attentive to any family member or guest. Perhaps a servant or two still linger, watching over the estate and her guests? And then there is the tale of the orange cat. Online accounts from witnesses report seeing a headless orange cat wandering the property from time to time. There are no accounts of who the cat belonged to or how it lost its head. America's largest private residence is also one of the most haunted places in the country. The Biltmore has been included on numerous lists of the most haunted places in America, including a report from CBS News. Learn more about the fascinating history of the Biltmore when you watch the video below. Well, what do you think? Is the Biltmore Estate haunted? Is there a Biltmore Estate dark history? Not everyone is tuned into their ability to see and experience paranormal activity. Have you ever had a paranormal experience at the Biltmore? We'd love to hear about it in the comments. And for further paranormal adventures, visit Pritchard Park. For more about the Biltmore, be sure to read Biltmore Estate, the most distinguished private place. Only in your state may earn compensation through affiliate links in this article. As an Amazon associate, we earn from qualifying purchases. The Mordecai House, located in Mordecai Historic Park, is a haunted estate to visit in North Carolina. Built around 1785 and 1826 for the Lane family, it was once the home of the largest plantation in Wake County. During the Civil War, the plantation was the site of many battles where it is believed many soldiers died and where some remain wandering the grounds. The house holds a collection of more than 5,000 artifacts, which might be why it also holds some leftover visitors from the past. One who has been spotted might be Henry Lane's daughter playing the piano. Where is another haunted site to visit in North Carolina? While you're in Raleigh, visit the North Carolina State Capitol for some more paranormal activities. Built in 1840, its Greek Revival architectural style offers granite halls, 3 floors, and authentically curated furnishings from the period. It seems it is so cozy that some who once roamed the halls here have never left. Some of the incidents reported include the sounds of a moving elevator, the smell of cigar smoke, the screams of a woman, and voices in conversations. Where's one of the most haunted hikes in North Carolina? Norton Creek Trail in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park is one of the most haunted hikes in North Carolina. Along the way, you will discover more than 200 small cemeteries with artistic headstones, abandoned home sites, and ruins of chimneys and old home foundations. Part of its haunted appeal comes from the Spearfinger legend about an old witch living on the highest ridges of the mountains, passed down by the Cherokee Indians. With one long, stone finger as sharp as a knife and dressed as an old grandmother, she searched the area for children. Upon capture, she would rock them to sleep and then cut out their livers. Another legend tells of a settler who was killed as he searched for his daughter near the north shore of Lake Fontana. Hikers today have claimed they were met with a light when they got lost on the trail, leading them to safety. As local travel experts, we know what travelers are looking for when it comes to finding the perfect accommodations for their next trip. To compile our lists, we scour the internet to find properties with excellent ratings and reviews, desirable amenities, nearby attractions, and that's something special that makes a destination worthy of traveling for. North Carolina is home to a lot of history, and wherever there is history, there's usually a ghost story or two floating around. You might be surprised to learn that there are many haunted hotels in North Carolina where you can spend the night and might just have a paranormal encounter of your own. If you weren't a believer before, you might just be after staying a night or two in one of the notoriously haunted hotels in North Carolina. The most famous story from a haunted hotel in North Carolina is, of course, the Pink Lady at the Grove Park Inn. A possible suicide or a possible push caused a damsel to fall to her death. No one is sure how her life ended. Her spirit still lingers throughout this beautiful hotel to this day. But word on the street is that she is a very friendly, kind-hearted ghost, so if you encounter her, don't be scared. Easier said than done. Blowing Rock is a quaint town, but the Green Park Inn is hiding something terrible on the third floor. A woman who died in the inn seems to be stuck here forever. Reports of strange occurrences and ghostly sightings occur on the third floor. For a bit of a less spooky ghost encounter, this haunted hotel in North Carolina also offers murder mystery weekends. The Carolina Inn has plenty of southern antebellum charm, which is probably why 20-year resident Dr. William J. Cox never wanted to leave. His playful spirit is said to haunt his former residence, Suite 252. Guests have frequently had issues with getting locked out of the room. To the point of the installation of an electronic lock that still seems to malfunction. This is absolutely one of the most haunted hotels in NC. Looking for a haunted bed and breakfast near me? Formerly the 1889 Whitegate Inn and Cottage, the Blind Tiger Asheville is an AAA 4-diamond bed and breakfast, but it also houses a mysterious spirit and former owner, Mrs. B. Each room in the cottage is named after American authors, and Mrs. B preferred Robert Frost. In 1928, while owning the property as a private residence, she passed away, but many believe she never left this haunted bed and breakfast in North Carolina. Mrs. B continues to tidy up rooms, closing and opening drawers, and also enjoys sitting in the garden. 5. The 1927 Lake Lure Inn and Spa. This fabulous lakeside inn has been visited by famous faces, including F. Scott Fitzgerald and Franklin Roosevelt. Aside from the glitzy reputation, it was also a convalescent home for wounded soldiers in the 1940s and the site of a murder in the 1930s, leading many to believe this is one of the most haunted hotels in North Carolina. The spirits still remain there to this day. Staff have reported hearing their name called in a grave voice, and strange apparitions have been seen with both the eye and captured on camera. Do you think you could spend a few nights at one of these haunted hotels in North Carolina? For even more paranormal fun, gas up the car and take this road trip to some of the most haunted places in North Carolina. In 1909, Stonewall Jackson Manual Training and Industrial School opened as a home for troubled youth. The crimes and troubles of the youth generally included minor scrapes with the law and issues at school. The boys were sent here for crimes and injustices that would today result in suspension or even a slap on the wrist. Abandoned homes of North Carolina at its start, the place was considered a progressive institution for housing troubled youth separate from prisoners. At the school, the young men lived in a series of dormitory-style buildings and received an academic education as well as learning a trade. Students worked in industries including shoemaking, printing, barbering, textiles, and a machine shop. Many of the young men worked on the school's farm, learning modern agricultural techniques and maintaining the fields and cattle herds that supported the school. The print shop produced a small newspaper called The Uplift. but many disturbing secrets and practices went on behind closed doors.